Whenever you're ready, sir.
All right. Hi, my name is Joe. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the subject of media and government, specifically how media affects government. By the end of my presentation, you should believe me when I tell you that news media can affect public opinion, particularly of political agendas and issues during presidential elections. In a Chapel Hill study in 1968, Professor Maxwell McCombs and Professor Donald Shaw developed agenda-setting theory. Agenda-setting theory states that mass media sets the agenda for public opinion by highlighting certain issues. When they studied how political campaigns were covered by the media, they found that the news media's main role was to set an agenda by telling us what to think about. Basically what they are saying is, the mass media thinks that a certain political issue is important, and then they will shine a spotlight on that issue to get us to think about it more. The issue may not be something that we think is important, but because the news media thinks it is, they make us focus on that issue, trying to make us believe that that issue is important. An example that McCombs and Shaw found was that during the 1968 presidential campaign, citizens learned about issues and how important they were from how the news media presented them. They concluded that the mass media had a significant influence on what voters considered to be the major issues. In order to better understand this, you have to look at the media's agenda-setting approach. MediaTenor.com researchers explain the media's approaches, saying that the media uses agenda-setting, agenda-cutting, and agenda-surfing to make issues more or less important to the people. As I explained earlier, the media uses agenda setting, which is highlighting certain issues that they think is important, to tell us what to think about and what we should think is important. They also work in the opposite way. They use agenda cutting to make us believe things aren't as important as they really are. They do this by not covering certain news items. If we do not see these news items in the spotlight, we're not going to think that they are important, or we may not even know they even exist. The media also uses agenda surfing, which is following trends to decide which issues they are going to cover, to affect what news items or issues that we think are important. According to agendasetting.com, public opinion usually follows the reporting in news media outlets, and the media sets an agenda to sway public opinion towards issues that they think are important and want us to think are important. This is especially significant during presidential campaigns. If the news media wants us to believe a certain political issue is an important debating topic, they will highlight that issue. And since public opinion usually follows the news media reports, the news media is usually successful in making us believe that those issues are important. As you can see, the main issues that we think about during presidential elections are swayed by the news media's use of agenda setting in their news reports. In this upcoming election, the news media will basically decide for us which issues are important, and we will basically believe them. There's not much we can do to prevent that from happening. Thank you.
Nice work.